Today, I'm going to share with you what I found during my recent inspection of a Newmar Class A wheelchair accessible RV. Hey everybody, it's Deb with Deb's RV Services and welcome to today's video. I'm a certified inspector and a registered technician, and today I have an inspection story for you that I thought would be really interesting. This is a 2017 Newmar Canyon Star. It is a wheelchair accessible RV, and I've had people reach out to me before asking me what I knew about them, and I really hadn't inspected one before, so I really wanted to showcase this and take a look and get an idea of how all the features work with one. Ironically, the owner of this RV actually, for his business, he builds out wheelchair accessibility for vans and minivans and different types of vehicles. He owned this Canyon Star for about 3 years, but he didn't really use it. So it's been just sitting there, but he had it in a garaged area. So it was indoors, it was out of the elements, out of the sun. So that was a really good thing. And the interior of it, oh my gosh, the inside was so wonderful to look at. The physical therapy assistant in me, which is my prior career for those that don't know, was really happy to see everything for a person that's disabled in here and how it was set up. I was really impressed with it. You can basically work anything from your wheelchair. You can wheel around, you can navigate the control panel. There are grab bars everywhere, which is wonderful. If you look at the whole shower area, there's grab bars. It just was absolutely perfect for somebody. And what it really told me was that anybody can do this. So if you feel like you are disabled and you can't enjoy this lifestyle, you need to check one of these things out because they are very nice. And it will give you, you can still get out there, you can enjoy camping, enjoy your freedom, and enjoy this lifestyle. So let's get started with some of the things I inspected, and I want to show you the good and the bad. The first thing that I wanted to inspect was the lift because I hadn't inspected one before. I hadn't actually ridden on one, so I thought this would be really fun. And so I went ahead and jumped on and just lifted myself up into the RV. Everything worked like it should. It was perfect. It was great. I think it's such an awesome feature to have for somebody in a wheelchair. So that was one of my client's main concerns. He wanted to make sure that his wife, who used a wheelchair, that the lift worked appropriately. So I went ahead and finished with the other areas of my inspection. There were areas on the roof that needed some sealant, and that, like I say this with almost all my inspections, it's almost always something that I have to write down, that the sealant is showing signs of wear and needs to be replaced. Something else that I noticed were the tires. Now, even though the tires weren't outdated, they have been sitting. And if you've seen my other videos where I talk about tires and the danger of them sitting is that they can develop different flat spots and everything. So the tires were way underinflated. I don't know what the tires will look like when they're properly inflated. So I just let my client know that the tires were not properly inflated. They need to be inflated. And then if need be, they should be checked out by a tire specialist to make sure that the tires are okay, that they haven't sustained any type of damage from sitting for so long. So that was one thing. Now, the other thing that I found was that the pump was not working. When I tried to run the water pump in the RV, it didn't even turn on. So I did contact the owner. He came over right away and he wanted, I just allowed him to look at it himself. And he said that, yeah, he would go ahead and replace that pump. One of the other things that I inspected were the batteries, and I noticed that the batteries were really low. And when I opened up the battery to check the distilled water level in there, I noticed that it was super low. You could see those plates in there. It was just covering it, but they needed to be filled up. So sometimes the batteries, what'll happen is when the water is low, it will not hold a charge. So what I did was I just noted in my report to add distilled water to the batteries, and then you could look and see if the batteries then held a charge. If they did not hold a charge, they would need to be replaced. So one of the other things that I found with this that happens in almost every RV that I inspect where there's electric shades is some of the shades do not work correctly with one of the functions, which was the all function, and there was in the living room, one of the shades did not come down. So This happens quite frequently, and I noted it to my client, and I moved on. I was also not able to get water to dispense out of the refrigerator, so that could be that it was not connected. The owner had not used that. Like I said, he really had that RV stored for several years and he didn't use it. He bought it and thought he would use it more, and he didn't. So he didn't even know if the water came out of the fridge. He didn't know anything about it. There could be that there's a connection problem, it's not hooked up, or it could be that the line got clogged. I don't know. So I write it down and it needs to be further investigated by a technician. I also noticed that I had problems with a couple of the cargo doors. I could not get them to shut. So that was something that the owner was actually aware of, and he said he was going to work on. So all in all, this RV looked really good. It had a few things on it that needed to be repaired. And my client worked with the owner on that. And I think that he was planning on purchasing this RV as long as everything went through. And I did have to look at a couple things. So what happened was there were some things on the report that I said, hey, if the owner can show me on video that they work correctly now, then I can let you know that I can see them working. And one of them were the batteries. And that was just something, and that's why I pointed out to you that it did show that the batteries were working good, but I'm also not there and spending time allowing the battery to deplete its energy to see if it actually holds the charge. But I did tell my client that I was happy to FaceTime with the owner to show me that some of these things worked correctly. So that was just another option that I allow for my clients when they get these inspections done. I don't mind that. That's absolutely not a problem for me. And so my client was happy that I could see this. So I think he did plan on purchasing that. I don't know if he's picked up the RV yet or not, but I know that I think it was based on me looking at these findings after I did the inspection in the report. So I think it's wonderful that there is an option for people with disabilities to get an RV and to have a nice RV like a Newmar with all this handicap accessible equipment in there. There is nothing stopping you from getting out there. There really isn't. There's always something for anybody out there that wants to do this. So I hope that you got something out of this video and you enjoyed it. I just want to let you know that we're coming up on the Christmas time, and I am going to be taking some time off. I believe today is, this video is for Sunday. So then I have a Wednesday video that's going to come out and then another Sunday video. The following week, I'm going to be gone, but I am, for those of you that have put the comments on about the music and the video of my tour, what I'm going to do, because I don't plan on working during Christmas week, is I am going to edit that video, take out the music, and then publish it as a version 2. I can't get rid of version 1. I have too many hits on it, and it takes away from any monetization, and I want that monetization. I work really hard on these videos, and I have a lot of views already on that first video, so I don't want to delete that and take away from it. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and publish a version 2 and just call it without music. And that way, for those of you that could not stand to watch that other video, you can watch this one. Or if you want to rewatch without the music, you can rewatch it. I am fine with whichever. I wasn't going to have a video out that week anyway, so I will just publish that again without the music. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about this RV, and I'll see you in the next video.